A demo for Surreal photo montage, so make sure you scroll down to the directions. So I'm going to start by making a new file. So in Photoshop, I can hit go home and new file, or I can also file new. And I'm going to click on print, and I want 11 by 17. And you can choose horizontal or vertical. And I'm going to name it Surreal. And I'm going to add a number because I've done it a couple times. Create. Okay, so now I need to put my background in. So I can file, place embedded, and I can find a background and hit place. And then I want to make sure it goes all the way to the edges, like so. And then as I zoom in, I can see the quality of this photo is not very good. It does not look good. So actually, I'm not going to use that one. So file, place embedded. Let's try this one. And again, I'm going to make sure it goes all the way over. I'm going to line it up, and then I hit done or the check mark. Okay, this one still doesn't look great, but for demo purposes, I'm going to keep going. I used this one before, and you can tell the background still looks good when I zoom in. Okay, so then I file, place embedded to get the whole picture in there, and I want to make sure I use good selection tools. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to file, place embedded, and I'm going to try these glasses. I'm going to hit place, and I'm just going to hit done. So now, right click, object selection uses AI. And if I click and drag over it, maybe it'll do a good job selecting, maybe not. If it doesn't do a good job, I can right click and try quick selection. This is going to minus things from my selection. See how it gets rid of it? The plus is going to add things to my selection. And I want to make my selection pretty, making sure I refine it. There is also selection brush. I don't love this one because it's harder to get precise things. So I'm going to Command Z undo. But make sure you're paying attention. So this one's add, minus from, add to, intersect is like the in between. And then once I have this, I'm going to make sure I go to select and mask. And up here, I can change the view. So I think the overlay, and then if yours doesn't look like this, you turn the opacity all the way up so I can see the edges I'm trying to make more precise. I'm going to scroll down. And normally if I shift the edge in just a little, I'm going to zoom in, Command plus, so you can see. If I shift the edges just a little, it'll sometimes get rid of this see this white border. If I pull them in just a little bit, it'll make rid of that. And then feathering makes the edges softer, so this looks bad, so I don't want to do that, but maybe just a hair. Smoothing does exactly what it sounds like. It smooths out the edges. And then once it looks good, I can also plus and minus from my selection here, so I can minus and plus. This is a refine edge tool. I can also use refine hair. So there's a bunch of options in here. And then most importantly, when I'm done, I'm going to output it to a layer mask. And then I'm going to hit OK. And what it did is it removed the background using a layer mask on my picture. So I can always go in and fix it if I want to. Okay. So I need to use a lot of different edit tools. So first I'm going to name this. So if I double click, I can name it glasses. I'm gonna reset my panel so it'll look normal to you. Okay. So I need to use a layer blend mode. And what that is in my layers panel right here, you can choose how it blends, and you can choose whatever looks good. So on this particular picture, it doesn't look great. So I'm gonna go over here and show you what I did with this one. So I did it on this kind of like gate thing. Bring this up so you can see. So here's the gate, and then it's on luminosity, but I just went through and picked which one would look good to kind of help it blend with the background and look more realistic. So that is a layer blend mode. Layer mask is this, use it to remove the background from things. Layer styles we've done before, so that's the drop shadow. So say on this, I go to FX drop shadow, and then you can see what it's doing in the distance. So it's happening to this mushroom right here, and I get a preview. So you can choose how far it spreads, the size of it, like how far away you want. You can choose the angle you want it at. You can even grab it and drag it if you want it somewhere like precise. You can choose like how close it sees through. You can choose the layer blend mode. There's a bunch of options. And then there's other ones too if you want, but you should definitely try a drop shadow because it makes it look more realistic. I have it on my pig up here. And then once you do it, it'll show right here as a drop shadow. Filters, filter gallery using a smart object. Okay, so I'll go back to this one. So I need to make this a smart object. So if I right click, convert to smart object, it's not giving me the option because these are already smart objects. See the little icon? So let me go to one that's not a smart object. So you would right click on it, convert to smart object. And what that does is it records my filters I'm gonna use. So if I go to filter, liquify, there's a bunch of options over here. If you hover over them, this one's push left, this one's bloat, this one's pucker, this one's swirl. So I click on it and you can make your brush bigger, smaller. The pressure is like how much it applies. And basically I'm gonna click and hold and it's swirling. You can bloat, so it like puckers, it like makes it come out more. Pucker, it makes it go in more. Push left, this is what people use to like make themselves look skinnier in Photoshop. You can like click in the middle and push it. So experiment with this, but you wanna make sure you don't totally warp the picture and make it look like bad quality. There's like a certain point where it just looks bad. And then when you're done, you hit OK. And because it's a smart object, it'll keep my liquify layer. And then if I want to change it, I can double click on it and change it. And then I can also delete it if I want. So I can always start again. So a smart object makes it non-destructive. If you forget that step, you have to redo it. And then I need to use an adjustment layer with a clipping mask. So what that means is, here's my adjustment layers. They're also all down here under the half white, half black circle. So I could choose like invert, inverts the picture. I could, another popular one is just hue saturation. So you can change like the color of the whole thing. And then this is a clipping mask. It makes it only apply to the thing right underneath it. So a better example is over here. So this hue is on this butterfly right here. So it's only applying to the butterfly. If I release the clipping mask, it's gonna apply to the whole thing, which is not what I want. So you right click, create clipping mask, or when you're in the properties, it's also this right here. And then transform controls, you wanna try and make, if you wanna say, make it look like this guy is going into space, edit, transform. There's a bunch of options, like perspective will make it kind of look like the Star Wars beginning, you know what I'm talking about, where it like goes into space. You can change different things. Edit, transform, skew. Similar idea, you can like skew just one side. So the transform controls will help you like make it look like this going more into space. Okay, so when I'm done, I need to make sure edits are all non-destructive. I used a layer mask, I used a drop shadow, I did an adjustment layer with a clippy mask, I did a blend mode. All 10 pictures are labeled. So when I'm done, I'm going to file save, regular save first for my PSD file, PSB, file save as a copy, and make this a JPEG and make sure it's named something, save. And then I'm also gonna make sure I screenshot these so that I have my final image. I'm gonna screenshot all 10 layers and make sure they're labeled. I'm gonna go to my blend mode picture, which is this one, and screenshot that I did a blend mode. I'm gonna screenshot layer masks and put them there. I'm gonna screenshot my drop shadow, adjustment layers, so that you can make sure you did all the required edits. And obviously you're going to erase my pictures and replace it with your own. Happy editing.